So I'm back with a lab update. I have officially completed and passed labs, so I'm here to give my feedback and my experience from going into lab and actually being hands-on for the first time. Again, I always post on Instagram first, so I did post like a couple stories during my lab adventures, so don't forget to follow that Instagram page so you can get more up-to-date or frequent updates as I will be going to clinical soon. But let's go ahead and get into my experience with lab. So we're going to kind of go in order. What I want to explain is the way to make your process going into lab a little bit easier, which I did these things only because I'm an over preparer, but just in case you didn't consider these things, I just want to go over them. So as you know, with lab, there is material that's available to you before you go in, such as videos, lessons you can complete. But me in particular, I watched every single video that they had on there because they're only like 5 minutes to 15 minutes max. So some are as short as, well, really as short as 2 minutes. And the highest video I had was 25 minutes. So yes, max is 25 minutes, but the reason why these videos are essential is because when you go into lab, yes, they're teaching you, but they're going to ask you questions and they're going to expect you to know these things already. And it should just be like a recap whenever you go into lab. So whatever the material is that they have, I don't want to go into specific details, but whatever material they have, they're going to give you a list of everything you're going to be learning in lab. Everything you're going to be learning in lab, watch a video for it. And if you watch a video, when it's time for you to learn it, it's kind of like oh, ask me a question and I already know this. And, you know, you'll be able to answer the questions. And when it's time for you to actually get hands-on and to practice, you watch the video. So you kind of have an idea of what you're doing, but now you're doing it for yourself in person in lab. Along with that lab kit that you have, you get to practice at home. So watching those videos are extremely essential. If you don't watch the videos, it'll take away from your hands-on time, which I feel is essential, specifically for going into clinicals. Like the things that they're teaching you in lab is things that you'll need to do when you're in clinicals, and you want to be able to practice that hands-on. Like watching videos and taking notes is one thing, but being able to physically do it is a completely different thing. So you want to be able to do hands-on. So when you have to go into the hospital and they say, hey, jump in and do this, you're like, okay, well, I've done this before. I haven't done it on a real human, but I've done it on a mannequin. So go ahead and watch those videos because we want that hands-on time. Plus, just in general, it's actually fun. It was fun to me. So I was able to enjoy my hands-on time and practice as much as I needed to because they will allow you to do that during lab. So the benefits of lab is you're going in person and you're kind of recapping whatever you already learned, and you have the option to be able to ask questions because these are nurses that's teaching you. So if you did videos and you took notes and there's some concepts that you're just having an issue with, then this is the time to be like, hey, I had an issue with this. Can you help me figure out an easy way to do it? And then you got those nurses to be able to help you do that. So definitely go ahead and look at those videos. But if it's something that you're struggling with, write it down to the side. So when it's popping up in the lessons, you can be like, hey, this is something I'm struggling with. Can you help me? And they'll give you that time to, you know, either tell you an easy way to do it or show you or allow you that extra practice. But this is the time for you to master those skills that you've already learned and know. Now, before lab, of course, you have your support, but there's also sessions where you can, cohorts where you can sign up for if you have any questions and you're like, oh, do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? There's cohorts that you can sign up for that's specifically for you to bring questions and ask the CI anything you need to be prepared for lab. And she's actually really sweet. But if you sign up, if you have questions about how to prepare for lab, sign up for the cohorts and she will give you any information that you need. She's super sweet, very knowledgeable. So sign up for one of those if you have to ask questions prior to lab, and then you can, you know, get them answered that way. So my first lab was 4 days and 3 days was learning. The fourth day was an assessment that you had to pass. That assessment is essential because, like, okay, well, everything you learned do you actually know how to do it? With this practice, with those videos, with the questions that we answered, are you able to do it? And that's what that assessment consists of. It's like a hands-on assessment where you have to physically do it, and you have someone watching you, and they say, okay, well, this person it's really like a checklist, but this person did all of these things that they were required to do to maintain the safety of a patient. So day 4 was very nerve-wracking for me. And I think I'm just really bad with taking tests or having someone watch me do something. So that's the only reason why it was nerve-wracking for me. But by the end of our lab sessions, or at the end of our 4-day sessions, so every time they teach us a lesson, they would go to the mannequin and they would go and, demonstrate how you're supposed to do something. So you'll watch the video, they'll answer questions, they'll be like, okay, well, let's go to the mannequin and let me show you how to do it, or let me show you all this material and why this material is used. So again, a lot of hands-on time. Usually after we learn everything, we get some practice, or by the end of the day, we get like open practice to just be able to do whatever we need to do. And then the course instructors walk around and just monitor to make sure we do it correctly, or answer questions if we'd be like, hey, we need assistance. They basically do that at the end of the day, which was that part was really fun for me. But yes, so for lab, you will get a lot of hands-on time. You will be able to, not the whole day, but you will get some hours of hands-on time so you can get accustomed to physically doing it. So yes, practice makes perfect. It's not a such thing as you practicing too much. So if it's certain skills that you feel like you're kind of struggling with, go home and practice it. Practice it before you go into lab. So when you go in, it's kind of like okay, well, I've been doing it, but I need a little bit of assistance with this, and that. Do it before lab, do it during lab, do it after lab. So by the time you go in for that assessment, you're like, oh, that's a breeze. This is going to be easy for me, because you don't know what you're being assigned to. Like, you don't know what skills they're going to assign you to complete. So it's better to practice everything and know what you're doing, because essentially you need to know these things whenever you're in a hospital. It's not just those skills that you're tested on. It's the skills that you need to know. You need to know all of them. So practice, practice, practice. If you take one tip from me, it's to practice as much as you can. Okay, so uniforms, which I feel like I kind of went into a little bit on some of my previous videos. But uniforms, you will get a list of what you are required to do when it comes to lab. White shoes, royal blue scrubs. You need to have your ID badge. Do not have no nails, none. Yeah, I struggled a little bit, but no nails. No, just don't even try it. No nails. And I mean, anything that they have as a requirement, you're going to get a list of it. They're going to email you. They're going to give you all the information. But just make sure you look at under the class. It'll tell you what the uniform requirements is. Be prepared ahead of time so you won't be caught off guard last minute, because they do send an email closer to that time. But this information is always available for the uniform. Okay, so as far as the CIs, we did have different CIs each day because they rotate. But all of the CIs that I interact with, they were super sweet, super helpful. I kind of come out of my little shell because I'm somewhat of an introvert. But when it comes to nursing, I don't know what happens. I just start to talk a little bit more. So I made sure to interact with them. I answered questions, participated, and they are looking for participation. They're not going to just let you sit in and not say anything, not ask questions. You can't just go in and be quiet. You do have to participate. So keep that in mind, which is why if you prepare with the videos, participating will be a breeze for you. So yes, you have different CIs, but all of the CIs that came in were super sweet and helpful. They were resourceful, willing to answer any questions. So do not be scared to ask questions. They will answer those questions for you. Okay, last but not least, you are not in there alone. You have other nursing students with you, which I actually loved because, I don't know, it's just something about trauma bonding that just does it for me. And everybody that was in that class with me was just as terrified as I was, so we kind of bonded. Some of them I already knew, but this was my first time actually meeting them in person, and I absolutely loved having the opportunity to interact with other nursing students and be able to kind of practice, because they do put you in group settings. You do simulations, which is kind of funny. Like there's somebody that watch you in the glass room, and they make like the little sounds like, ugh, I need help, I'm hurting, I'm in pain. It was actually really fun, and it put us under pressure, but we all worked together as a group, and it honestly made you bond. So if you don't have any nursing friends, because it's kind of like an online program, just know that when you get to lab, you're going to get that opportunity. So yeah, when you get to lab, it's never just you working by yourself. You're always paired with someone, or you're always in a group, and you always have the opportunity to interact with everybody. And sometimes they switch it up so you can get to know the other people, you know, not just partner up with one person and just be paired with them the whole time. They do switch it up. So use that opportunity to bond with your classmates, people who are going through the same thing as you, about to be tested at the same time as you. Working together is so much easier than just working on your own individual basis. I have been big on building rapport and relationships with people throughout this nursing program, because I feel like you going through a program by yourself, it's a little bit harder when you just do it by yourself compared to talking to other people and socializing and seeing what their study methods are and what makes it easier for them. So that may be something you can use and make it easier for you. So yes, being able to socialize and practice and mix and mingle with other nursing students, I always feel like that is beneficial, because going through a nursing program on your own, or, you know, sometimes just having people that can relate to the trauma that you're going through, it's just, I don't know, it's just something about it that I genuinely love. So I try to interact as much as I can. Not only that, some people have study methods that they use that work for them compared to what you're doing. It might be some kind of advice they can give to you, like, hey, I was struggling with this too, and I did this, and that helped me. Bonding with people or socializing with people, honestly, when it comes to nursing school, that is definitely a way to get through the program easier compared to just being restricted into yourself. So use this time to socialize with people that you are going to lab with, so you can build that rapport and, you know, kind of bond with other nursing students. So if you take any advice from me when it comes to labs, 1, watch those videos. Watch those videos, because you will get more practice time in lab, which is essential. Like, practicing at home is awesome, but it's kind of just prepping you for, you know, what you do in lab, because at home you don't have a patient's bed. It's so many other safety precautions that you have to be aware of. So watch those videos, so when you go into lab, all you're doing is practicing. 2, practice. Practice as much as you can. Whatever they give you some time to practice in lab, use that to your full advantage. Don't play around. Don't take too long to get started. I used every single minute I could to practice. So when you're in lab, practice. 3, build a bond with the CIs and with the nursing students, because they're there to help you. Not only the CIs, but the nursing students. Everybody wants to help each other, at least from my experience. So yes, my experience, I absolutely love being around everybody. Everyone was so helpful. It wasn't any tension, any drama. Literally, we just kind of bonded the whole time. This is something that we're all very passionate about, so we came in with the same attitude. I'm just here to learn, I'm just here to practice, and I'm just here to pass. And that's exactly what we did. So go into the situation just on a positive note. Try to build rapport with everybody, socialize, take full advantage of this time. But lab, when you get to that point, it's going to be something that's really fulfilling. I thought I wasn't going to be excited, but once I completed it and passed the lab assessment, I understood how excited I was to actually go in and be hands-on, because this is the first time I'm being hands-on when it comes to nursing, and it just feels more surreal for me. And of course, I feel more prepared for clinicals. So next month I have clinicals, and I'm not as scared as I was, because I thought I wouldn't be able to do certain things. But after doing lab, after doing my assessment, getting my hands on time, I know it's things that I'm capable of doing, and it actually came I'm not going to say easy. It actually came to me naturally. I don't know if it's just like the passion I have behind nursing or what, or the fact that I watched those videos before I went into lab. So on to the next for me, which is clinicals. I already have my clinical location. I don't have my schedule quite yet. I got an idea of what my schedule may be, but I don't have my schedule yet. But just make sure you go and follow the Instagram page, because I will upload on there before I upload on here, because this is a little bit more time consuming. On YouTube, I make more in-depth videos on my experience. On Instagram, I give y'all a quick glimpse, which is still really cool to see. Whatever I uploaded on Instagram, I'm going to upload it on here. I'm going to upload a few clips just so you can see everything I experienced during lab. But again, if you want to see it real time, I would highly suggest for you to follow the Instagram page, because I'm still posting as I've been doing all this time. I always promise y'all that I will post, and here I am still posting. So up next is clinicals. But if y'all have any questions or anything that I missed, please feel free to leave a question down below. So again, like, comment, subscribe, follow the Instagram page. If it's anything that I missed, leave it in the comment section. I will try to respond to it. But the next video that will pop up, it won't be too long compared to the other one, because clinicals is coming up pretty fast for me. Just so y'all know, I have about 6 shifts that I have to work for clinical. So kind of like giving you an idea, it's 6 12-hour shifts if I'm not mistaken. And it's gonna be 3 shifts each week. So stay tuned for that. Of course, I will give y'all more in-depth on clinicals, but it's gonna be on Instagram first. So it's up to y'all. But that's all that I have for now. So I will go ahead and end the video. And I'm also going to just put some clips in from lab just so y'all can see what I uploaded on Instagram. But I hope to see y'all next time. Do not forget to watch the whole video, because it makes a difference. But hopefully this is helpful, and just let me know if it is in the comments, and I will see y'all for clinicals. If y'all have a big head like me, invest in some headbands, because the ponytail for the past couple of days been messing it up for me. I got a big head, and I do not like wearing ponytails. Don't get me wrong, you may still have to clip your hair up, but this at least gets your hair out your face. Invest in a headband. The fact that you get to be in person, and sometimes you can put a name with a face, or you can start to build that rapport with some people that are also in the same exact trauma as you, and y'all trauma bond together. So with me meeting everybody, that's basically what happened with me. I was able to bond with people and meet people in person, and everybody in the class is so sweet. And of course, you know, people that I already knew, I was just able to meet them and build even more of a bond. They got to see my goofy side, because I don't know if y'all know it, but I really am goofy. I really am goofy.